this year's been a busy blur. Don't think I have the energy to ride my already mad rush just cause it's tis the season. The perfect gift for me would be completions and connections left from last year. Ski shop encounter, most interesting. Had his number but never the time. Most of 81 pass along those lines. So deck those halls, trim those trees, raise up cups of Christmas cheer. I just need to catch my breath. Christmas by myself this year.
Morning, City Call. Happy Wednesday. This is Mr. Claude with your morning announcement today. Today is Wednesday, December 16th. It is a cycle day 5. I'd like everyone to please stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance and recite after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now we're going to send it over to our own weatherman, Mr. Payne, with our blustery report for today.
Thanks, Mr. K. That was fantastic. Hey, C. Cole, welcome to Wednesday. And we got a big weather day for us today. Now, this morning you're waking up to temperatures in the upper 20s, low 30s, and those stratus clouds are going to start moving in this morning, and maybe we start seeing our first snowflakes around midday. Question of the day, well, it comes from the entire CE Cole staff and students. Mr. Payne, how much snow are we going to get? When's it going to start? My best bet is it's going to start early afternoon, and the quicker it gets here, the better. 3 to 5 inches tomorrow, and then tomorrow night, tomorrow evening is when it's really going to start picking up. One thing we notice is that we are in that bullseye for the most amount of snow that you can get. 12 to 18 inches, even seen some reports giving us 20, 24 inches. You do the math, if you get 24 inches, how many feet? One thing you'll notice, the storm's coming up from our southwest into our northeast. And about a month ago, we talked about the ocean and how it can power up a storm. This storm, it wants to get fed, and the ocean is going to feed it, and it's going to give it a lot more moisture, which is good for our area. As you get closer to the coastline, though, the ocean becomes the great equalizer, where it's going to moderate some of those temperatures. It's going to hang around 30 degrees all day, and into the night, dipping down into the upper 20s, which is going to give us a lot of snow. But places that are along the coastline in New Jersey and on up northward aren't going to get as much because the ocean's going to modify that temperature, and they're going to be in the upper 30s and 40s, and they're mostly going to see rain. Hey, I hope you guys are going to be able to get outside a little bit before it picks up. And one thing to keep in mind, with this storm is going to come some wind. Wind gusts 35, even 40 miles per hour, which can make it very dangerous. So be careful, bundle up tight, and don't forget, virtual learning comes first. Mr. K, back to you.
All right, thanks for that weather report, Mr. Payne. I think hearing what's going to be coming, everybody should bundle up and remember to have all your stuff ready for the snow. Remember, we don't know how much or how little we're going to get, so make sure you have your shovels, your salt for your sidewalks and all. Make sure you have your winter boots and coats and all that stuff for if you're going outside to play and have some fun. So, since it is the first time we're getting an accumulation of snow this year, I know we got some the other day, but that's not the fun stuff. This is the real fun stuff where we're gonna see it lay. I did some research today actually on some facts about snow, and snow has always been something that's totally fascinated me, and even being out and about in it, and certain things like, why does it always seem so quiet when it snows? And there's actually some scientific reasoning behind that. So I wanted to share with everyone today just a couple fun facts about snow, and also a fun fact or two about some of the snowfall records in Pennsylvania. So after we get back, we can see if we came anywhere close to even matching what the record for snowfall is in Pennsylvania. So first thing I came across, and I have a couple different options here, so give me a second if I'm switching between two. But the first interesting thing I figured out about snow is that snow isn't actually white. So every time we look out, it might appear white, but has there ever been a time when you looked out and the snow appeared blue or gray or maybe sometimes another color? So the reason for this is that snow is actually translucent. But what happens is when the light reflects through the snowflake, there's so many sides of the snowflake that what actually ends up happening is the light gets scattered in a bunch of different directions, and it ends up going a whole bunch of different ways on our color spectrum. So while we typically see snow as white, it can also appear in other colors, even such as black, orange, blue, or pink. And sometimes this is caused by other chemicals in the air or other things in the area where the snow is falling. So if you see snow other than the color white, there might be something in the air or on the ground that is affecting that. But it is actually translucent. So I actually thought that was pretty cool. So I had a very scientific definition about that, but I read it and I had no idea what it meant. So a little bit easier to break it down the other way. So, all right, now here's another one about snowflakes and how they're designed. So we understand that all snowflakes are different in individuals, just like all of us. But one of the cool things that I read about was that snowflakes and how they form is all determined by the air temperature around it. So snowflakes that appear long or thin needle-like crystals, they start to form at around 28 degrees Fahrenheit. Remember guys, things start to freeze around 32 degrees. So a couple degrees below that is when you might start seeing long crystal needle-like pieces of snow. However, when we get to a lower temperature, around 23 degrees Fahrenheit, it leads to plate-like crystals. So when we imagine snow crystals or snowflakes, that's what it's going to appear like more when the temperature starts to drop. And then further and further as the temperature drops, different shapes and sizes of the crystals continue to form. So I thought that was pretty cool on how they actually form. I never even thought about the air temperature affecting how they look and how they appear. So let me go to my other one. I kind of highlighted a couple different ones, and I have so many ones, but I'll pick only a few to share. So that one can wait for a little bit. All right, now let's think about snowflakes. While every snowflake is individual, there's actually an individual whose name is Andy Brunning, and he's the creator of something called the Compound Interest Science blog. And part of his job and what he's been doing is he's cataloged 35 different types of snowflakes, plus a few other types of frozen precipitation that he doesn't technically classify as a snowflake. But they're designated as things such as columns, planes, rimed, germs, irregular, and a combination of some of those all put together. If you asked me what any of those ones were and if I could point them out for you, I could not, but I thought it was a cool fact to share. And when we're talking about germs, I think that's actually a snowflake type, not like actual germs that we deal with when we're washing our hands and stuff like that. All right, a couple more. All right, here comes the one about snow affecting sound. I thought this one was super cool. I hope you guys find this cool as well. So whenever I'm out in the snow, I always find it really kind of insane how quiet it gets. It's almost like you can hear everything going on around you, and there is a reason behind that. So snow actually affects sound. Freshly fallen snow absorbs sound waves. Every time we hear a sound, that creates an air that bounces around, a sound wave that bounces around. So when snow absorbs those sound waves, everything seems hushed because it takes on all that sound wave in. So that is actually the reason why it sounds so quiet. Or you might hear snow falling off a branch, or you might hear your crunch of your foot as you step into the next pile of snow. But here's the thing, if snow melts and then refreezes, it then becomes ice. Ice, instead of absorbing the sound, actually can reflect the sound waves and make the sound travel further and more clear. So if you yelled into a pile of snow, it would absorb it, but if you yelled at a sheet of ice, it might reflect it off. So another cool thing. I don't know. I learned a lot of cool things about this. All right, last one on this one, and I'll share some record snowfall facts. So, snow warms you up. Never really thought of it like that. I don't know, maybe I guess I have. If you've ever been out in the snow and you're out there for so long, sometimes your body feels warm. So, Snow is actually comprised of 90 to 95% trapped air, which means it's a good insulator. When we think of insulator, it might be like a jacket. A jacket's an insulator, keeps us warm. This is the reason a lot of animals burrow deep into the snow during winter in order to hibernate. It's also the reason that igloos, I don't know, I haven't seen any igloos around lately, that use body heat to warm them can be 100 degrees warmer inside than outside. So, fun fact, even as cold as we always imagine snow to be, it is actually an insulator, and if built in the correct way, can actually provide a warm shelter for snow. So, some world record snowfall. So this is actually a world record for the entirety of our planet. And this occurred in Washington State, here in the United States of America. So this happened in Mount Baker ski area in Washington, and they have the world record snowfall for 1,140 inches of snow in the 1998-1999 winter season. So that is an area that is located near Mount Baker, so if we actually had the ability to get up on Mount Baker, we probably would have saw even higher levels of snowfall. But with what the scientists were able to measure, that Mount Baker ski area has the world record for biggest snowfall. All right, 2 more, and then we're going to talk about Pennsylvania. Next one, Earth's fresh water is frozen, so 80% of all the fresh water on Earth is frozen as ice or snow. And this accounts for 12% of the total surface of Earth's whole area. So 12% of our world, as we speak right now, is covered by snow or ice. So, pretty cool. Last one about snow. What's a blizzard? That's a lot of time we throw the word blizzard around there, but there's actually scientific criteria that snow has to meet in order to be considered a blizzard. So, a blizzard occurs when 1, you can't see for 1/4 of a mile. 2, winds are always 35 miles per hour or more. 3, the storm must last at least 3 hours to be considered a blizzard. If any of these conditions aren't met, so if it makes 2 out of the 3, it is not considered a blizzard, but it is actually called a snowstorm. So, some fun facts about snow, snowstorms, blizzards, and snowflakes and how they are made. So, knowing that we all live in Pennsylvania, I thought it would be a pretty interesting and cool fact, and I actually thought about this myself, like, where gets the most snow in Pennsylvania? So here's some information I got in regards to the biggest amounts of snowfall in Pennsylvania. So, the greatest 24-hour snowfall, so one day, the amount of snow that fell on that day, happened in March 20th of 1958 in the town of Morgantown. And they had received 38 inches of snow in a 24-hour period. If my math serves me correctly, and 12 inches equals 1 foot, and we have 38 inches, that means that in one day, Morgantown got 3 feet and an additional 2 inches of snow. Can you imagine that? That'd be like walking around up to your, maybe for some of you, almost up to your like chest or shoulder area. Maybe for me, up to my hips. But that's a lot of snow. That's a lot of shoveling and a lot of snow blowing people had to do. Now, that is the greatest one-day snowfall. The greatest 2-day snowfall was 60.5 inches from December 24th to 26th of 2017, probably making it a blizzard because it happened over 3 hours. And I'm gonna guess that those winds were probably pretty good. And this happened in the location of Erie, Pennsylvania, which is located in, I believe, the upper western part of the state. So, just some fun facts about snow, guys. So, I hope that you all stay safe, stay healthy, have a fun time during the snow day. Remember to make sure to check in with your teachers. Still log in, do everything you need to, but when it's your time to relax and have fun after school ends on your breaks, make sure to enjoy and be safe, and we'll catch you all soon. So, have a great day, see you, Cole, and we'll see y'all later on.